Hi there, this is Toby Green and you're listening to The Green Room with Tom Green and Jacob Gaynor. Stay tuned.
Oh, coffee's for a week for that, mate.
Well, the wait is over. The first ever live show of In the Green Room. Tom, who would have thought that we'd make it all the way to the Adelaide Footy Festival alongside one of your many former teammates?
Who would have thought the AFL would have wanted us here, to be quite frank, after how we were going for a little bit last year. But no, it's fantastic to be here, and it's even better to be alongside one of the all-time great people, Isaac Cumming. Thank you very much for joining us on the first edition of Alive in the Green Room.
No, thank you very much for having me, Cherub. It's good to see you. Congratulations on the success too. It's a big stage here, so very happy for you.
Now, despite the rumours, we didn't actually want you here because you draw a crowd in Adelaide. We wanted here to catch up, to reconnect. There's plenty to talk about. How'd you pull up after the other night? Main stage, packed out crowd. You've had some feedback that it's been your best game so far for the Crows.
It's I pulled up well. Body's all good. Obviously disappointed and a little bit sad not to get the result we're after. But obviously some of the feedback's been nice, but I'm glad I redeemed it because I actually had donuts in the first quarter, so I had to do something. Otherwise, I reckon the feedback could have been very different.
Well, it's a beautiful day, and I must say, you seem to have settled in quite well. Talk to us about the transition from Sydney to Adelaide life.
It actually went very well. All the off-field stuff, like finding a house, all that sort of stuff went really smoothly, which was good. The weather's been elite, which was a big factor. I'm a very weather-dependent man when it comes to my mood, but no complaints at all so far.
So I'm sure, I'm not going to sort of get you compare the Adelaide playing group to the Giants because I know obviously the Giants are number one in your heart still, no matter what you're going to say. But how have the Crows boys welcomed you in? Going over with JP, I assume, has helped a lot. And by all reports, our sort of chats briefly, you said that you think we'd actually get along really well. How have they been?
I think we would, yeah. I think we'd have a really good day together, the Crows and the Giants. But no, I was very, very lucky. The boys were unreal to me. Obviously, I was pretty scared rolling in. Didn't know how it was going to go, but no, they were very good to me and JP. And I think very, very similar setups in terms of the personnel and personalities, the humour and all that stuff. So no, they looked after me, which was nice.
The beauty is you don't have to wait too long to line up against the Giants. We saw Harry Perryman do it in opening round and he copped what he deserved. Next week you'll cop the same. But we won't see JP, obviously a bit too scared to show up. Yourself, how do you feel about coming up against the Giants and Tom Green?
I'm looking forward to it, I am. I'm sure as it gets a bit closer there'll be some nerves that'll settle in and a few mixed emotions, but I am looking forward to it. But I'm pretty keen to see what the boys have got for me.
Do you think anyone will be chirpy?
I'd imagine so, but I don't know, being perched up out in the wing, I'm a long way away from the boys, so there might just be some heckling from a distance, but...
would you say anything too?
I don't think I'm smart enough to say anything in the moment. I'm not quick-witted enough, so I don't think I'd have anything. I'm sure Toby will... I don't know if Toby's really going to have anything to say, but I'm sure he'll try and say something to you out in the wing at some point.
Yeah, I'd expect him to give his 2 cents somewhere along the match.
We spoke briefly on the way here about your family and now a lot closer, which was one of the main pulls to come to Adelaide. How's your family finding the transition from the Giants family to the Adelaide family?
They were talking about this the other day. They were a bit worried about how it was going to go because they still love the Giants, but they used to love putting on the orange, going to games and cheering for the Giants. But they said, their transition was pretty seamless as well. I think that was obviously based off seeing me really happy there and fitting in early days. So they still got a soft spot for the Giants in their heart, absolutely. But they're enjoying being able to come to games weekly.
It seems like you've grown up a bit since coming across to Adelaide. You've got a dog, a fiance.
Yeah.
It seems like you've settled in quite nicely. Can you tell us a little bit about how, I don't know where Will, our cameraman producer's gone, but how you used myself and Will for your little engagement and then left us?
I did. I had to cut back some expenses, and I knew that you two were cheap. So, no, it was very nice to have you two there. Two people that I I enjoy being around, and for you to be there on that special day was nice.
And Mia, how's Mia settled into Adelaide? Or back into Adelaide?
Back in Adelaide, yeah, no, she's loving it. Very similar setup for her in terms of family. She gets to see her family daily, which she's loving. But no, she misses Sydney. But the good thing is, a lot of the girls came up this weekend, and then there's even more coming up next weekend. So it's good to be back around some old friends.
My quick question, Shees, is we saw Jack Higgins early in the week canned Adelaide a little bit. You're obviously talking about how you've absolutely loved your time here, and the reality is Gather Round the last couple of years has been absolutely fantastic. It feels like we're back in Sydney, to be honest. The weather is absolutely amazing right now. Adelaide has absolutely turned it on, and all the fans out here repping the Cooper's Brewing kit as well. A good South Australian business. What's your favourite thing about Adelaide? Is it the beaches, or to those who are coming down for Gather Round this year, what should they do for the rest of the weekend and for years going forward? What are the must hits in Adelaide?
Yeah, I'd say if the weather's like this, I think there's definitely got to be a beach day in there. I think my favourite thing to do since being back is taking my young son Nelson for a walk on the beach. Hello, mate. And
Live show.
So, I definitely would say get to the beach. Seacliff is my favourite. And then it's obviously pretty stock standard, but everyone's been talking about the wineries, which are very special. But down in the Rabbit Hole is my pick for them. Very, very nice setup. Live music, hard to beat.
What's their signature drop?
I don't know. I'd say it's some type of red, I assume.
That takes us...
I know nothing about wine either, so it's wasted on me.
It's a good transition to the first game I want to play. Now, you've only been in Adelaide a short time, but I want to play a little game comparing it to Sydney, okay? So I'm going to say something, and you say what's better, Adelaide or Western Sydney?
Okay.
Sydney. Beaches.
Yeah, Sydney.
Tom, can you keep score?
That's 1-0.
You're going to lose this Adelaide crowd quick.
I'm being honest. I've got to be honest. I'm not going to lie.
Coffee.
I'm going to say Sydney, but because of the cost. Coffee's very expensive here, I've found.
$7 this morning for a coffee.
$7?
Yeah, very expensive
okay.
coffee here, but I suppose the houses don't cost 10 million, so they bump up the coffee a bit.
House prices was my next one. Beers. Or pubs.
Pubs. Adelaide.
I've got a little...
Adelaide are on the board.
Not a counter to that, but I do... Now that you bring up the better pubs being in Adelaide, you mentioned your little dog Nelson before.
Yep.
Would you like to give a little insight into how Nelson picked up his name?
Yes. It was probably going against how I just answered that question. But no, Nelson is named after Nelson Hotel, which I do think is the best pub in Australia. In Bondi Junction, me, Tim Taranto and Zach Sproul used to live around the corner from it. And we used to dine in there quite a bit. But I think overall, so far, I think there's been some pretty good pubs here in Adelaide, so I'll give that the nudge.
By all reports, I think I don't think we have any time this trip, but we are back next weekend, so maybe you can take us around to a couple of these pubs and maybe we can just test them out and compare them, because I do know the Nelson is a ripper, and I remember also going there off the back of, as you said, you guys being massive advocates for it and having some nice meals there and everything. It is a great establishment, but maybe it's time we sample some of the Adelaide ones.
Yes, we'll see what we can do.
I'll give a freebie to Adelaide. Traffic.
Adelaide.
Nice. People.
Oh.
We've got a nice divide of Crows and Giants fans in the crowd.
Tie. Can't
Right,
pick.
okay.
Tie.
It's not really in the green room fashion, but
He does actually live here now. People can find out where he lives and get after him, so...
we'll drop it. This is a hard one.
They've all been hard so far.
Teammates.
Wasn't one of the...
How many Crows players listen to this?
Zero.
I assume everyone... across the league listens
JP's
to
a
it.
big fan still.
Wasn't one of the caveats
Crows
of
are
us...
better. That's why I left. All the boys at Giants have...
Not it.
So
Tom Green.
I had to leave. Crows.
The water.
As in tap
Not
water?
like tap water.
Tap water.
It sounds weird, but
Interesting.
I didn't like a glass of water this morning.
You don't
So
like
I added it in.
I've had no qualms with the tap water here so far, so I think that's got to be a point Adelaide.
All right. The weather.
I'd say summer Adelaide because there's very little humidity here. But I think Sydney's winter's hard to beat. And it gets a bit colder in the winter. So, again, 1-1. Sorry to mess up the game.
That's all right. Team colours. Crows colours, Giants colours.
Okay. I actually want to weigh in on this, and I'm voting
Shock.
for the Crows. No, I'm not even joking. The Crows have the best colours. That kit right there, we can see just there, honestly, the navy blue, the red and the yellow, I actually reckon look unreal.
Yeah, he's wearing it well too, isn't he?
He is. He looks...
He's looking $1 million bucks.
These are the parts of the podcast we normally take out when he goes against live show.
Green has answered it for me, so there you go.
What else do we have?
Also because I look terrible in orange, so...
You look awful in orange, but we're wearing the Never
Thanks.
Surrender kit tomorrow. The
That's
charcoal
a bit better.
kit, which I think is the best kit in the league.
You actually got me with that the Instagram post. I thought you were going to wear the blue one,
Team
and I was
GWS.
so excited.
Cheese, feel free to sell out
No,
there as well.
because that's it. We can talk about that right now.
Yeah.
The Team GWS jumper, for those that haven't seen it, is the blue, the traditional Giant or Team GWS jumper. It's the first ever jumper.
I think
Alex
the
Carey
first-
wore it.
The first year the Giants were a club before they were in the AFL. I think they were in the TAC Cup.
TAC Cup.
They wore it, and it was blue, and it's a really cool kit. And I think, do you not think that it would be a good, teams are doing exclusively gather round kits. Do you think it would be a good idea for the Giants to roll with that? And gather
I
round?
reckon there has to be a game across the year where that does get worn, but
It should be gather round. Every club has to wear a different kit.
yeah, I've been you know how some clubs do the retro.
Yep.
Like, that's not a whole league thing, is it? Like the
No.
retro round. But you know
Like a
how
heritage round.
like Geelong do it. I reckon that should be around where all clubs that weekend wear a vintage kit.
Is it hard when ourselves and the Suns are 10 years old and haven't really changed much?
Well, ours. I mean, that would be the blue one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We have a great option to go to. It would look fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm all in on that. I'm 100%. The Team GWS kit needs a run at some point.
You're the only one at the table with any pull. So you need to start pushing the blue jumper.
Well, I clearly don't have enough pull if we haven't got it there. Well, there you go. I'll sell it to... our membership team is next door, actually, which... That's probably a decent segue into what we should be... we are advertising here today. You can see a poster behind us as well. And that is we can see little Crows fans over here. We can see some Demons fans. We're seeing plenty of orange, which is absolutely fantastic. But to those who aren't in the orange and the charcoal today... There is an opportunity next door to buy a Giants are my second team membership. I think with as Cheese can attest to, the Crows are great. He's obviously all in on the Crows, but he's still got a soft spot for the Giants. I think everyone has a soft spot for the Giants out there. And if you want to get priority 3 access to grand final tickets, you want access to a Giants home game at NG and a home game at Manuka Oval, God's Country up there at Canberra for people who want to make the trek. You get an exclusive badge, which we also have right here, and a digital care package. Go next door, see our lovely membership team, and go and get your hands on a Giants Are My Second Team membership package. You will not regret that.
That is the perfect advertisement for some space that we can advertise brands, because you nailed it.
There
Nice
is
little
space for that.
script.
We're still trying to work through how we can get someone to sponsor this podcast, and there's a few in the works. I'd like to, it's not like we can't fill that space.
We've been
it's just
teasing
picking between
sponsors
so
for
many options.
40
yeah.
episodes. Shout out Speedo.
Shout out to Speedo.
Speaking of Speedo, we were talking to Cheese before as well. We're thinking diving competition in 2025. But the real question is, how high do we jump? What would you do? 5?
I reckon I'd do 5.
But like 5 with a flip or just pencil jump?
I don't know. When we used to swim there, I assume you still do. When I'm looking at it, I'd jump off that. But I reckon when push come to shove,
It's seriously high.
I'd probably stop at 5.
It sounds like to win this competition, then we need to go somewhere that has higher than 10, because I think I'd jump
Higher
off 10.
than 10?
Well, I just think that's where I'm going to be able to get you. I'm not going to do any flips, but I think that
You
I
can get
could
me at
just...
5. I'm so small. I hate heights.
Okay, well then I'm happy to do this diving comp because it sounds fun to me.
Oh, and then we'll choose what's on the line. Maybe guest appearance. You can come dive. You get some nice Speedos.
Yeah.
Sort you out. All right, what we might do is we might open the floor. So I've got some questions here, but we've got a roaming mic.
Before we get into questions and the roaming mic, I would like to give a massive thank you again to everybody who has come out. It's fantastic to have your presence. We really appreciate it, as we say on all the regular In the Green Room listeners, but to have everyone here as a part of our first live episode is fantastic. We've also picked up some merch as a result, all of us. We've got two lovely fans in the crowd who have made some bracelets for you and I before, Jacob.
Yep.
We've picked up another one. Cheese has even got, is that a Crom one?
I got a Crom one, yeah, it's unreal.
The Crom, so yeah, your guys' support is absolutely fantastic and we really do appreciate it.
All right. Kate, do we have any questions for Isaac, for Tom,
Or for you.
or for me? There's so many questions already. Anyone? Yep. Oh, no.
No, I
The
like
man
the
with
kid.
6 beers.
Isaac,
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I need you to be completely honest with me. Who's the better full forward? Is it Jesse Hogan or Taylor Walker?
That's a ripper early.
That is.
Don't lie. Just say a name.
Well, considering that Hoagie Bear won the Coleman last year, he's going to be hard to beat. But Tex is a broken hill boy, so I think it's just got to be the big Texan.
Confirmation, Isaac Cumming knows no ball.
I think you're going okay if you're kicking either of them up full forward, to be honest.
Tex's first goal the other night was special.
Yeah,
I don't wanna-
and the crowd erupted. Like, it was crazy, but it was a pretty classy goal, wasn't it?
I kind of want to ask you about, and maybe it's an off-air one, but I'm always amazed, his license to just like wheel on his left as well, from any distance in any, it's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, his left foot's unbelievable. I think when he did his knee, I'm pretty sure it was his right knee, and he just smashed his left foot kicking. And honestly, I don't think he's even got a preference. Like, he's happy to bang it on either side.
Well, he takes marks at 50, wheels on his left and goals them. It's actually ridiculous.
He kicked this ridiculous one last year in the showdown. I don't know if you remember it, but Alir was on the mark, and then he's faked right, dummied that, and then wheeled on the left from like 55 and dobbed it. It's silly.
He's an unbelievable kick of the footy.
Talent. Any more questions from the crowd? Yep.
The bracelet maker.
Is Cheese looking forward to his first showdown? And how does he think it will compare to the Sydney Derby?
Ooh, great question.
Great question. I am very much looking forward to it. I've actually got a best mate in the crowd as well who's a Port fan, so I'm keen to hopefully get the bragging rights first. But no, I am very excited. The boys have been speaking about it for quite a while, actually. And I'm very keen to see how it compares because they are probably the best games of the year, Giants v Swans, and I reckon Port Crows will be very, very similar.
How sad will you be when you lose to Port?
This guy sort of came in pretty hot early as well. He's out for blood today.
It's a hostile crowd in Adelaide.
Yeah.
I
can't lie. I will be pretty sad. I will be pretty sad if we lose, but sad if we lose every game. But that one, I reckon that one will sting a bit.
Any other questions? Oh, yep. Yeah, we'll go again.
It's got to be for Greener, though.
It's going to be aggressive.
It's for both of you because you both have good forwards. Who's winning the Coleman? From both of you, who's winning the Coleman? Who do you think is going to win the Coleman medal?
Well, I am just going to say Jesse. I mean, it's an easy one to say. No, it's an easy one to say, obviously, but he's already missed a game or 2 games, and he's up there.
How about you go your prediction and then like a roughie?
Well, yeah, I'm going to say my prediction is Jesse. A roughie. Ben King started very well. He kicked another 5 today, I saw.
Wow.
You guys have got, honestly, a lot that could win it. Like, Phil Thorpe started the year unbelievably. Texan as well. I'm going to say my roughie will be Ben King.
I'm gonna go with either Fog or Filthy, because they're already in the race for it, and I reckon they'll generally be up there. But I don't know if it's going to be that rough. But Darcy from the Bulldogs,
Sam Darcy. Yep,
he's unbelievable. But that's I don't think he's going to be that rough. Do you know what I mean?
I don't mind it. He'd be young if he went like 21 or something. So it's a good call.
I'm a big fan of his. He's unbelievable.
Great question. Now, I've got a question here from Sam. At the Giants, Isaac, you made close bonds with the fans. Has this been possible at a bigger club like Adelaide?
No, it has been possible. It's obviously the volume of it is a bit of a different level, But no, I still try to treat it the exact same. You know, try and get to know them as best as I can. But like for example, we had a signing session after captain's run the other day, and that was packed around the whole oval. So
You do a full lap.
no, little half lap job.
Yeah.
But still, it's unbelievable to have like so many fans. But no, so far it's been good getting to know them.
Nice. Do you have any regrets since joining Adelaide?
Well, I knew that was coming. No regrets at all.
No, that's fine. What do you think the biggest difference between the two clubs has been so far?
That's a great question. Can we come back to that one?
We can.
I'll stew on that one.
Now, these are the ones that get Tom up and about, so you might have to kind of like move your chair because he gets loud. We want to rank these drinks. This is the exciting stuff. Coffee, tea, energy drinks, soft drink, sports drink, hot chocolate.
What's the difference between a sports drink and an energy drink? Is a sports drink like
a
Gatorade?
Powerade.
Oh, right.
Or Gatorade, or a Red Bull.
Well, I'll start from the bottom. So energy drinks last.
Agreed. Yep.
What else was there? Was there milkshakes or something?
We can add milkshakes.
No. What were they?
Coffee, tea, soft drink, sports drinks, and hot chocolates left. I reckon you add milkshake. We've had times like this where we'll argue for half an hour about what juice is the best.
Yeah. I reckon coffee probably at 1, purely just because I think I'd have that the most.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Have
love
that
a
every
tea
day.
though as well, don't you? You love a cup of tea.
I love a tea in winter, but
Yeah.
still, I think... And I love a Coke Zero at dinner, though.
Yeah,
I love a
so
Coke Zero
true.
at dinner. So probably coffee, soft drink, sport drink. Actually, no, sport drink second.
Yeah.
Orange Powerade's one of the best drinks ever.
So good.
So we're at coffee, we're at Powerade, we're at
Tea, we can chuck in tea there.
tea.
Tea's there.
Yeah. Energy drinks are last, and
Yeah.
then I'm going to throw milkshakes just slightly above hot chocolates, personally. But
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, we'll go
Yeah.
with that. I think we've got a question in the crowd. Is that right?
Yep.
Question for all three of you. Who's got the best social media, but you can't pick the Giants or the Crows?
Okay, well, Jacob's going to hate this, but I'm going to go because I know he hates it. Plus, I also think it's really good is Hawthorn. I think the Hawks have really good social media there. Brain rot content is insane. It's like as soon as I see something on my TikTok For You page, the Hawks are posting about it. That chicken jockey meme barely got off the floor and they were already posting about it. So they're incredible at their work.
I wouldn't put Hawthorn in my top 5. Crows? What are your thoughts on the Crows socials?
I like it. I think we do a good job.
Not going to say...
I think we do a great job.
Yeah, okay. Top in the league that's not the Giants, I would say... I don't know if I'm just biased towards expansion clubs, but I think the Gold Coast content's really, really strong. Doesn't necessarily have all the eyes on it, but I think the Gold Coast.
Well, I was going to say Hawthorn, but purely because I see a lot of it. It's probably out of all the clubs, that's who I see the most. But I obviously love seeing my mates out of the club. So like West Coast, when they post a photo of Flinny,
yeah.
that's nice. You know, Tim at the Tigers. So I'll go with one of them, West Coast.
All right, happy with that. Any more questions from the crowd? Oh, yep. Sorry, Kate.
Kate is going to be busy now.
Yep.
You'll be next. We'll get you next. Yep.
Question for all of you. What's your favourite gather round kit?
Ooh.
Again, like, I love the Crows, to be honest. The kits you wore the other night were incredible. I always do really like the Crows kit, as I've now made very well known, but your kit the other night was amazing.
It was. The stealth kit was elite. It had a bit of the...
Giants never turned up.
Yeah, it did. But, I mean, bias again, that's my favourite kit.
Not going to return the favour now and say the Giants?
Not the Giants.
But no, the stealth kit of the Giants is obviously very hard to beat as well.
Yeah, I don't mind... Yeah, I'd say the Crows.
I've got one that I want to put this out here. I watched it
What's
last night.
the worst?
You're gonna no. You're gonna hate it.
If you say the Swans,
I really liked
It's
the
bad.
Swans. No,
It's bad.
I really liked it. It looked cool.
I don't know where the Swans tent is, but it's the worst gather round jumper.
Are the D's wearing that kit there tonight? Then I like that.
Yeah,
the
and you
D's
didn't
kit.
return the favour.
Yeah.
D's have the best, then the
D's
Crows.
is going to be good.
Yeah, that is elite, actually.
That's a good jumper.
We've got another one here, I think.
Yeah, g'day, Tom. We're from Canberra.
Woo!
Hello, Canberra.
Shout out to God's country.
Now, to you, Isaac, what's the greatest difference in coaches between Matty Nix and what's his name?
Adam Kingsley.
Adam Kingsley, and who's more strategic?
That is a great question. The biggest difference is probably physique.
Head of hair.
All love to Nixie, but I reckon Kingers might have him covered with anything physical. And strategic, hard to split them, obviously. Don't want to give too much away about what Nixie has for us, but both very meticulous. Obviously, Kingers is. But yeah, Nixie's got some tricks up his sleeve as well.
Feel free to just give us some notes off air for next week.
That was a great question, and we're going to clip that for sure. Any other questions? No. Pretty happy with that, Tom?
Yep, fantastic.
Well, we don't have our little buttons to press, but before we go, you have asked Isaac before we came on the air for Song of the Week. It's your favourite segment. I don't know how many people resonate with it, but...
I would do ASMR live if I had any options. If people have got anything here they'd like to... So we just heard some claps in the crowd. I just want to make that pretty clear.
Two of the whole audience.
About ASMR. So if we had any options, we'd certainly be doing that. But no, I think we'll go on to Song of the Week if we'd like to.
All right, you go.
I'll kick us off.
I don't have one. Isaac's mine.
As in, you're just going to...
Well, I didn't get one ready. And you never like mine.
All right, well...
Do you listen to country?
I'm happy to. I haven't really got it in my playlist.
No.
I wouldn't play it, but I'm happy to listen to it.
I'll just choose something that's not country.
I've got one that I only heard yesterday, and it's by Kedema. It Gets Better, which I think he might have released in March, so not that long ago. But I'm a big fan of it. It's sort of like a dance song. I don't know. Again, I'm not really like over the ins and the outs of how you would describe that sort of like genre of music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, your music, is it rap? I assume it's rap.
No, this isn't rap at all. This is like a... Kedema's like a... Like DJ, you know, like dance. I don't know if it's dance or techno or whatever, but It Gets Better by Kedema I heard yesterday, and I really, really enjoyed it. So that's my Song of the Week. It's very at the forefront. I'll probably be listening to it tonight as well. So It Gets Better by Kedema.
Isaac?
Mine is probably Don't Go by Old Mervs from their most recent album. A bit indie. I don't know if you like it, Cherub. I don't know.
It sounds like it might have a bit of a Jacob Gaynor song. Jacob likes these.
That.
Yeah, so I reckon you'd like it.
Tom listens to rap and that's it.
No, that's not true. I've got time for
the
indie.
weekend.
It just depends.
The weekend, yeah.
No. I've got time for indie. It just depends on what that may be. Jacob has a really distinct style of song, like pop sort of indie that he likes, where it sounds like you're driving down to the coast, like the south coast of New South Wales.
You
with your
say it
windows
like it's
down.
a bad thing.
You'd love
I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing.
Do you know Old Mervs?
I've heard of them.
Yeah, no, that's my one, but yeah, I don't think I swear all you listen to is just rappers rap about money and guns. So I don't think it's up your alley at all.
He's not wrong.
Just because I don't listen to it every day doesn't mean I can't appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah, true.
Also,
that's mine.
I don't know why this reminded me of it, but I'm sure... Can you give a little bit more context to what the Mavs did for Luka the other day? The video?
Yeah, the tribute video. They just did on his return game, which was yesterday our time. They did like a tribute video to him, and he was in tears. And I'm glad I didn't watch it because otherwise I would have been in tears too. But even watching it made me pretty emotional.
What are your thoughts on AFL clubs doing that? What if we do an emotional tribute video for Cheese with all his Giants recruits content?
That would, without a doubt, make me cry pre-game.
It'd be a quick video. There's not many odds.
No, we could do it. Righto, I think that's it. It's getting loud in here.
It is getting loud. It's getting very, very busy. But how good's this been? First live episode. I think it's run pretty smoothly. Thank you to the team here as well. Kate, Will, Zelly, everyone's sorting everything out. And the biggest thank you, I think, goes to the crowd. Thank you very much for everything you've done. You've been absolutely fantastic. Interaction unmatched. And we've absolutely loved it. Another thank you obviously has to go to our lovely mate Cheese here. Thank you so much, Cheese, for coming on, taking the time out of your day.
No, thank you very much for having me. It was good to catch up.
Perfect. Well, we'll see you next time. Do you want to do your normal outro?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Thank you very much again for having us. To the AFL as well for putting us up and taking the risk on us in that way. But no, we've really appreciated it. For those who don't regularly listen in the green room, I hope this has attracted you to it and not sort of pushed you further away from listening every week. But if you did enjoy it, make sure you tune in, send in the content. We love the interaction. We're on all major streaming platforms. Make sure to send us to your friends and family, and you can watch us on YouTube. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.